Hi, guys. A lot of my students ask me, especially when they're new with jazz music, how do they switch back and forth between brushes and sticks? So it's a really common question. So I just decided to demonstrate a couple of ideas here on how to do that. I took this bass line from this old tune called Killer Joe. It's just a repetitive bass line over and over again, but it gives us a nice sort of metronome. Anyway, so what I'm doing is I'm just alternating four measure phrases, starting with my brushes, then switching to my sticks, and back to my brushes. Just kind of over and over again as a way to sort of practice that transition. Obviously, you're not going to do it that many times in the real world playing experience, but like I said, it's just really good practice so that you can change on the fly whenever you want. So one thing you notice when I play my brush pattern is as soon as I get to the downbeat of the fifth measure, my brush is down in time that I can play beat one with my drumstick. Then, once I'm playing on the ride cymbal with my drumstick, I switch my left hand, floor tom, grab my left hand drumstick, and now I've got both drumsticks in my hands. So when I transition back to brushes, you notice the first thing I do is I put down my left hand drumstick, pick up my left hand brush, and then I put down my right hand drumstick and have my right hand brush join in to keep the pattern flowing. So like I said, it's just a great way to practice transitioning back and forth. If you ever, in a situation where you're playing and suddenly it looks like it's going to go into a bass solo, likely you want to switch to your brushes. Or say you want to start a tune, kind of on a lower level. You start with your brushes, and then when it gets more intense, you can switch over to sticks to pick it up, that sort of thing. Okay, so let me go ahead and demonstrate at 90 beats per minute how to trade fours back and forth, going from brushes to sticks and back. Okay, so now you have a little bit of experience switching back and forth. Let's up the tempo just a little bit. I'm going to increase it up to 120 beats per minute. Okay, so for the final example, I've upped the tempo to 150 beats per minute. So it's a little bit quicker, but if you use the same techniques you practiced when you were playing at 90 and 120, it still should be pretty smooth. Okay, I hope this video helped you come up with some ideas about how to switch back and forth between sticks and brushes. I have a lot more videos if you're interested on YouTube. McGovern Drums is the name of my channel. Or I do have a website as well, www.mcgoverndrums.com. Thanks, guys.